back. Today I wanted to talk about work. I didn't want to be too specific about the job I'm in or jobs I've been in, just more an overview of how I see work. I see work as a major inconvenience in my life. It stops me doing the things I want to do, and many times I see it as a complete waste of my time. But of course it isn't a complete waste of my time, because it means I earn money so I can live the standard of life that I'm used to and that I need to fulfill my interests and hobbies outside of work. So to me, earning a paycheck is a necessity in a neurotypical world. It's not something I would do if I had any other means of income. It's something that you dedicate 1/3 of your life to, almost, being at work, working, doing something in most cases you don't like doing, or in my case don't enjoy doing. It's not to say that the jobs I've had and the job I'm in now, I don't have moments when I enjoy it. I think I have moments where I'm immersed in it, and all my Aspie sensory zones are filled up, and I'm in a zone where I'm happy and comfortable, and that doesn't happen too often. You know, when I get into that zone where I'm doing something that actually I don't mind doing. That's pretty much as good as work gets for me nowadays. It's like there are times when I don't mind being there. Most of the time I don't want to be at work. That's not a reflection on my company or the people I work with. It's just how I view work. It's something I have to do. It's something I have to drag myself out of bed for. I have to go to this place full of people that normally I wouldn't even talk to in normal life. I have to interact with them. I have to deal with all the sensory issues that are involved in my workplace. And someone was having a discussion at work, funny enough, the other day about what people would do if they won the lottery, and people were coming up with these, quite elaborate scenarios where they'd buy, all these houses and cars and holidays, and and they asked me what I'd do if I won the lottery, and I just said, well, I wouldn't work. And they went, yeah, I know you wouldn't work, but what would you do? And I went, I just wouldn't work. Nothing would change, apart from the fact I wouldn't have to go to work for 8 hours a day. I would just carry on with what I'm doing, pretty much. But those 8 hours that I were having to come to work for, I would fill with my hobby or special interest. That to me would be utopia. Being able to get up in the morning and not having any money worries, not having to go to work, and just being able to do something I was passionate about. I mean, there is a scenario where I could push myself to try and make that become a reality by doing my passion for photography as a full-time job. But the kind of photography I do, which is like landscape fine art photography, very, very difficult to make decent money from, unless you're willing to diversify out of that a little bit and be a more general all-round photographer, start making YouTube videos, get your name out there, be a personality. Well, that's not going to happen. So if I won the lottery, yeah, I'd just be going around the country, the odd trip to Europe, and further afield, just to take photographs. That would be what I would do with my money if I won the lottery. So getting back to work, I think when you're a kid, everybody at some point gets asked multiple times, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be? And most people, boys I'm talking about, when you're at primary school, it's like the traditional astronaut, fireman, soldier, I don't know. I never really had a reply to that, and that really stuck with me till the point that I was going to be leaving secondary school, and I still had no idea what I wanted to do. Other people had clear ideas of their paths and their routes and what they wanted to do, but I could never find anything that clicked. I don't think I had a very good careers advisor. I think I saw that careers advisor once for about 20 minutes when I was at school, and funnily enough, those 20 minutes shaped my start of my working career, because they got me an interview for a local printing company that were looking for apprentices, and I got invited to a test day, and I aced that, and then I went for an interview, and I got the job, and next thing I know, I'm in a 3-year apprenticeship for something that I didn't really know anything about. But this now it comes down to when, obviously I didn't know I had Aspergers, but I had this driving feeling inside of me to push myself towards something that society would see as normal or successful or the thing to do. So when you're surrounded by neurotypical people that their only aspirations in life really are to get a girlfriend, get married, buy a house, have children, work until you retire or die. That's pretty much how a neurotypical sees their life panning out. So by the time I was a young adult, I was already having issues of fitting in and struggling to feel normal, because I'd gone all my early years at school and that not being normal. Now was my chance as a young adult to be normal, to show society that I'm a success, I can do what everybody else can do. And I did. I got myself a girlfriend, I bought a house, I had children, I got a mortgage, I did these things, and by a neurotypical standard, that was what was expected, and that's what I did, and that kind of did make me fit in a little bit. But if I'd have got diagnosed back before I left school, I think things would have changed a lot. I think there were certain things I wouldn't do over again. I wouldn't rush into a relationship. I wouldn't rush into trying to get the first job that was offered to me, trying to just get into this normal pattern of life that neurotypicals feel they're destined to do. They're just basically copying what their parents did, and that wasn't something that ever fitted well with me, but I knew that to fit in is what I was going to have to do. And at the time, I didn't feel that was going against anything normal for me. Now I know that wasn't the norm for me. As I said, I think if I got diagnosed earlier, I might never have got married, I might never have had children. So I don't know, I did those things, and those things didn't fit with me. Obviously, having my daughter was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm really, really proud of her, and I wouldn't want to go back and change that, knowing that, you know, she might not be around. But yeah, it's that constant struggle, and that's where work fits in, that constant struggle of fitting in with society, doing what's expected of you. There's so many people that I know that live to work. Their whole life revolves around work. It's all they talk about. It's all their, you know, even when they're not at work, they're talking about work. You know, and it's not that I don't do that. It's just that I really treat work and home time as two completely separate things. I really do just switch off when I leave work. I don't want to carry anything from work into my home, and I always treat the car journey as some kind of decompression time that I get the chance to just let it all fade out and start thinking about my special interests. And when I get home, I've completely forgotten about work, and I'm just ready to get on with my hobby, get into it, and enjoy my home time. Work for me, in that it gives me the ability to pursue my special interest, gives me the money to buy what I need to do to do it. If I didn't have to work, I'm not one of these people that would say, "Oh, well, I've got to work. I've got to do something to keep my day." I've got things that would keep me busy for decades. I don't need something else to fill up my time. So yeah, I left school, didn't know what to do. Had a pretty boring job, but it was well paid. You know, I've always had, you know, moderately well paid jobs, and they have enabled me to do things outside of work that I'm very grateful for, and that's really the whole reason I put up with it. You know, I know I mentioned before that only 16% of the estimated 700,000 people on the spectrum keep full-time jobs down. So, you know, I think I'm successful in a neurotypical world, and I'm like mega successful in an autistic world. And you know, it's not easy. It's not easy sometimes being in the workplace. You know, that there were lots of things, there were lots of triggers that on a day-to-day basis I used to have to deal with, not knowing what they are. Now I know, I've had the diagnosis, there are some things now I can work around, but I really have to suck it up really when I'm at work. I know there are going to be times when I'm mega stressed, when I'm trying to multitask, which is not the easiest thing for me to do. I'm really good at doing one thing really well to a high standard. I kind of struggle and flap a little bit when I get multiple things thrown at me. But yeah, work is something I put up with, I tolerate, I do, because the society I live in deems it necessary to be able to survive. And that's why if I ever won the lottery, I just simply, nothing would change really for me, I'd just stop work. So yeah, I just thought I'd have a little chat about work. Thanks for watching. Bye.